Then Rudolf Steiner, a philosopher, educator, and spiritual thinker of the early 20th century, then embarked on a journey to explore the depths of human consciousness and its capacity for intuitive thinking. His work, often encapsulated within the broader framework of anthroposophy, then seeks to bridge the gap between the spiritual and material worlds through a path he describes as intuitive thinking. Then, at the heart of Steiner's exploration lies the quest for certainty in knowledge and the profound question of human freedom. Then, through his methodical approach, Steiner invites us into a realm where the soul interacts with the world in a deeply intuitive manner, then opening doors to spiritual insights and a renewed understanding of freedom. Intriguingly, Steiner's exploration begins by challenging conventional perceptions of knowledge and free will, by weaving together the threads of Edward von Hartmann's and Robert Hing's philosophical insights with his own. Then Steiner constructs a narrative that positions intuitive thinking not just as an abstract concept, but as a practical pathway towards spiritual enlightenment. Then, his critique of the dichotomy between conscious and unconscious motives lays the groundwork for a discussion that transcends traditional philosophical debates. Then Steiner's journey is not just about answering these timeless questions. Then it's about redefining them in a context that emphasizes the role of thinking in perceiving the world and oneself. In a world teeming with unanswered questions about the essence of human existence. Then a profound inquiry into the nature of knowledge and freedom emerges. Then philosophers have long grappled with these concepts. Then yet it is within Steiner's exploration that we find a unique pathway carved out, leading us towards an understanding that transcends conventional boundaries. Then his examination delves into the depths of what it means to truly know oneself and the world, alongside the enigmatic concept of free will. Through a meticulous analysis, he proposes that at the core of every human being is the capacity for intuitive thinking, a faculty that, when awakened, can provide certainty and knowledge and a genuine experience of freedom. Central to Steiner's argument is the notion that the quest for knowledge and the realization of freedom are intimately connected. He posits that our understanding of the world and ourselves is not merely a passive reception of facts, but an active engagement through thinking. It is here in the realm of thought that Steiner suggests the seeds of freedom are sown for him. Then freedom is not the absence of constraints, but the ability to act according to one's insights and intuitions. Then, such actions informed by a deep connection to the spiritual world reflect a higher order of freedom that transcends the dichotomy of determinism and free will as traditionally conceived, then reflecting on the essence of freedom. Then Steiner offers a compelling perspective. Then true freedom is the ethical fruit of self-then-awareness. Then to be free is to be capable of thinking one's own thoughts, not the thoughts merely impressed upon the mind by external forces. Then this statement emphasizes the transformation that occurs when individuals transcend the passive absorption of external influences, enabling a more profound engagement with the world through the active generation of one's own thoughts and actions. We are at a pivotal point in our spiritual evolution, where intuition becomes our guide towards a deeper understanding of our place within the universe, through self-awareness and ethical striving for freedom. Navigating through the realms of consciousness brings to light the intricate dance between thinking and perception. Then a closer look reveals that our understanding of the world and ourselves hinges on this delicate balance. Consciousness, often likened to a vast ocean, holds within its depths the pearls of thought and the corals of perception, then each contributing to the rich tapestry of human experience. Then thinking, in its essence, emerges as a beacon of clarity, then cutting through the fog of the perceptual world to uncover truths hidden beneath the surface. Then, as a result of this process of thinking, we begin to form our perceptions, weaving them into a coherent narrative that bridges the gap between the inner self and the outside world. Then, Steiner's examination of this relationship underscores the significance of consciousness in the process of knowledge acquisition. He posits that only through the crystal-clear waters of thought can the true nature of perception be reflected back to us, unveiling the world in its true form, not as a mere shadow on the wall of our consciousness, but as a vibrant, living tapestry. This profound insight challenges us to rethink the role of thinking in our interactions with the world, suggesting that it is not a passive backdrop to our sensory experiences, but an active shaping force that molds our perceptions into a meaningful whole. In the myth of Orus and Wisi, we find a poignant illustration of the interplay between conscious thinking and perception. Orus, with his lyre, could charm all living things and even the stones to listen. Then his journey into the underworld to retrieve Wisi symbolizes the descent into the depths of consciousness, where intuition and thought blend to overcome the shadows of perception. Then, just as Orus relied on his music, then the embodiment of harmonized thought and emotion to navigate the underworld, we too rely on the harmony between thinking and perception to navigate the complexities of the world. Then this myth serves as a reminder of the transformative power of consciousness. Then, guided by the light of intuitive thinking echoing Steiner's vision of a spiritual path that transcends the mere act of seeing into a profound understanding, within every individual's journey lies a fundamental dichotomy between the self and the external world. This dualism, a central theme in philosophical inquiry, raises profound questions about our connection to the universe and our place within it. How do we reconcile the deeply personal experiences of our inner world with the objective reality that surrounds us? As we examine the boundaries that define and separate the self from the universe, we can gain a deeper understanding of our existence and how it differs from the cosmos despite the appearance of insurmountability. Then Steiner's exploration of this dualism reveals that the division can be overcome. Instead, it serves as a starting point for a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos through the act of intuitive thinking. Then, the individual engages with the world in a dialogue seeking to uncover the underlying unity that binds all of existence. Then this process is not a passive acceptance of the world as it is, but an active participation in its unfolding, where the individual consciousness extends beyond its boundaries to touch the universal. Why then does this dualism exist, and what can it teach us about our nature and destiny? Perhaps the barrier between the I and the world is not a barrier but a bridge. In this perceived separation lies the meaning of knowledge and understanding. The dualism becomes a dynamic interplay, a dance of consciousness that invites us to discover the interconnectedness of all things. We begin to see that our individuality is a unique vantage point from which to engage with the world, transforming our sense of separation into a profound connection with the universe through intuitive thinking, and delving into the spiritual dimensions of our existence reveals that thinking is not merely a cognitive function, but a gateway to the soul's deeper truths. Then, far from being a passive tool for navigating the physical world, thinking serves as a dynamic force that shapes our reality and connects us with the spiritual undercurrents of the universe. This realization opens up new avenues for understanding the nature of our being and our place within the cosmos, suggesting that the act of thinking is in itself a spiritual practice. Then, engaging with the world through thought, then we begin to perceive the intricate web of connections that bind the visible and the invisible, the material and the ethereal. Each thought born from the depths of the soul carries with it the potential to transcend the mundane and touch the divine. It is in this sacred space that thinking becomes more than a process. It transforms into an act of creation, a means through which the spiritual essence of the universe reveals itself to us here. The boundaries between the thinker and the thought, the observer, and the observed begin to dissolve, ushering in a state of unity that is the hallmark of spiritual awakening. In this light, the journey of intuitive thinking emerges as a path of discovery, where each step taken in the realm of thought brings us closer to the spiritual core of our existence. This path does not isolate us in introspection, but invites us to engage with the world in a more profound and meaningful way. Our intuitive thinking allows us to see ourselves not as separate entities, but as integral parts of a greater whole, participating in the evolution of consciousness. A spiritual perspective not only deepens our understanding of ourselves and the world, but also establishes compassion, creativity, and love, weaving the fabric of a truly spiritual life. In the culmination of Steiner's exploration, intuitive thinking emerges as a potent pathway to spiritual freedom. This process not only deepens our understanding of the self and the world, but also fosters a connection with the spiritual dimension of existence. Steiner's vision of intuitive thinking transcends conventional notions of cognition, inviting us into a realm where thought and spirit converge.